Sir, I'm logging in from just
Okay,
a minute,
okay.
sir.
Okay.
So one last minute, sir. I'm downloading it. Sir, now you can start recording, sir.
Just now I enabled recording already done, Dr. Chandra. Can I do the welcome and can you introduce the speaker?
Yeah, okay, sir.
Ma'am, Subha ma'am, are you there? Shall we begin the session now? I couldn't hear her voice. Subha ma'am? Hello? Okay. Very good evening, one and all. We are happy to have you all here for today's webinar session. I think we are close to 11 months today. Nearly one more month is there for the initiative to reach the 1 year. Today with us, Dr. Subhasri Vanamalis is a professor of psychology at Madras School of Social Work, Chennai. I welcome today's speaker on the topic positive engagement for wellness on behalf of the Department of Psychology, American College, and the core team members and Madras School of Social Work, Chennai, MS Telamut Institute, Madurai, and Red Pond Education and Psychological Research Center, Madurai, and Yellow Pond Counseling Center. I welcome the resource person and the core team members, as well as all the participants for today's webinar session. Now I request Dr. Chandra to introduce the resource person to the audience over here. Over to you, Dr. Chandra.
Thank you very much, Sri Kumar, sir. And I'm happy to introduce our dear own Subhasri ma'am. She's no more new to us, and she has been with us for many topics. And today she's here for a wonderful positive topic on positive engagement. As Sad said, she's currently working as an assistant professor in the Department of Psychology, Madras School of Social Work, Chennai. She's also the founder of Vatsalaya Center for Wellness, and she has been resource person in many trainings, workshops, seminars, and whatnot. She has published many papers in national and international journals, and she's very much interested in career psychology and also in positive psychology. With that note, without further ado, ma'am, I hand over the session to you. Thank you for being here again, and the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Chandra, for the wonderful introduction, and I'm really happy to deliver on this topic, positive engagement for wellness, which is a very important topic for all of us during this pandemic. I'm sorry, I am from outside, so my connectivity is very poor, so I'm using my phone. I couldn't share my video. Hope I'm audible for all of you. Suresh, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're very clear.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Can you see the slides, ma'am?
Yeah, I am able to see the slides. Thank you. It's even otherwise I'm okay with that. Yeah, fine. So we are now into a very important topic that is positive engagement. You all know the story of positive psychology, how it has emerged, and there is a lot of importance have been given. The psychologists are believing in the efficiency model, not focusing just the deficiency. So they are been embracing this positive psychology as one of the very important discipline now. So people are looking for What kind of an positive? So for example, if there's a glass of water which is half filled, a person who's looking at half filled seems to be a very optimistic person. A person who's looking at the empty part of the glass seems to be a very pessimistic person. So they will be looking for the kind of an positivity in all the opportunities. So positive psychology talks from that perspective, that is, how do you really relate to any kind of a situation? What is that you are telling to yourself? What is that you are doing at that moment? How optimistic you are? How you have an hope and faith and other strength towards approaching any kind of such a event, whether it is desirable or undesirable, whatever it may be. So in that case, how this positive psychology is can be trained for individual to help themselves, as in people who can live with a lot of strength. So in this connection, the PERMA model emerged. Martin Seligman mentioned about positive emotions, engagement, positive relationship, meaning, and accomplishment. These are a very important aspect for one to have a sound well-being. All your psychological well-being sphere can be actually strengthened by using this positive emotions, relationships, accomplishments, engagements, and meaning. When it comes to positive emotions, so for example, if you have been involved in anything and which is actually the stimulus, whatever you are involved, which is the response associated to that is something very positive, that is, you are associated very happy mood because of something, you are associating something else or a learning or something only because of that. So this is something which is very essential. He said that the positive emotions association is very important. It is something, an essential part of one's well-being. You all know that. In that case, how these positive emotions emerge when you are positively engaged in anything. For example, you really love to do something, you really enjoy doing something, you really like something, some aspect of what you are doing it. So these aspects have really given people to think that positive engagements really helps them a lot. So this really built a strong relationship. For example, if you are being in a relationship, you are actually being in any task, you wanted to accomplish something, you are really investing time on something to get an investment return. For everything you require this engagement. This positive engagement is one of the foremost important aspect in our life. Focusing on something what we are doing, truly enjoying that moment, and really taking care about what is that is being, you are completely into that, and also being living in the present moment and able to recognize what is that you are getting out of it, that is the enjoyment in the process. So this is what is something called positive engagement. A person who's being with the child enjoys just being with the child itself. They enjoy seeing the child, what they are playing, what they are doing, small act of the child and everything. They just enjoy. So that gives a positive emotions for them. So this is something which we all need to know. So when we involve in any kind of a job, if we have been emerged, we have become one into that particular job. We have shown total involvement in that particular task, whatever it may be, even it is a cooking or a gardening or a cleaning or anything, even enjoying music, you name it, anything. You could see that you are at the end of that, the entire particular task you have completed, no? You find it yourself as really soothing, and you feel that you have really accomplished something, and you feel something is really, relaxing yourself. This positive engagement, they say that it's very much related to cultivating a flow experience. Flow is something, just think of a running water. If the water is flowing and it keeps on going, and the water flows from the higher upper level to the lower level, it keeps flowing. And if you see that stream has been keep on going and there is no obstacle or something, how it looks like, It's really beautiful. It's soothing, no? Such a kind of a flow. That is something which has not been a barrier for all of you. You are being fully engaged in something. This is what is important. Being like this, it creates a lot of involvement to you. If you are being involved in that, the interest actually towards doing that is becoming and very. For example, you take us. We started on April 14th. We started doing positive engagement for all of us during the 6:30 to 7:30, and everybody has been assigned a role, and everybody really enjoys what we are doing, and we make sure that some or the other person works in that line. So this is something is really created an interest for us. It's we really created a kind of an involvement into that, and we started enjoying about that. The entire learning becomes a very beautiful experience for all of us by doing, listening, by actively engaging, by imparting knowledge. All these are into that. So there's something associated with all of us during this pandemic period. People are finding it very difficult, those who are not able to engage them positively. People found with themselves very ideal. People felt lonely. People felt that they're aloof. People felt that they are being drained only when they were not positively engaged to anything. So this two aspect, the flow, is a very important aspect. It is a strength for all of us. When you engage in something, it enhances your performance because you know what is that you are doing at present. When you have been sitting with yourself and you are involved in your any task, and you know that what is that you are doing, you know how to handle the uncertain circumstances also when you have been fully aware of what is that you are doing. That's a very important aspect where, as far as if you are not aware of what is that you are currently doing, that is the present moment, then it really interface or intervene your performance. People who are not able to do up to their mark in their performance is only because they were not able to engage with the fullest strength of themselves. That is reflect on their satisfaction level, because when they say that I keep a standard for myself, if I'm not able to do that, it that really hinders my performance, which leads to a dissatisfaction or slighter less level of satisfaction. Then it result in the negative emotion. That means a person who is not satisfied leads to a kind of a negative emotions. In that case, we must be aware of it. The positive engagement, which creates a beautiful performance or a performance, whatever you have set as a standard for you, which leads to a satisfactory state of yourself, and then which leads to a positive emotion, that is called happiness. I'm feeling happy because I could accomplish that. So even being in that particular, living in that moment itself is a beautiful bliss. That is something which you all need to really look into. So in this PERMA model, in engagement, how we can do. So there are number of activities have been could be actually given for children or given for even Martin Seligman gives in the engagement what activities could create or kindle flow that makes you people to just lose of the track of the time. What could be? It can be writing, it can be anything creative task, or it can be painting, it can be a puzzle, it can be a music, it can be a presentation like this for us. So there are a number of activity you can indulge in which can create into a flow. So I would like to move on what is a flow theory talks about. So the flow theory is something. Move on, Chandra, would you please? So the flow theory focus on the how you are able to feel one in that particular moment. That is, one must be involved in an activity with a clear set of goals and progress. That means you know what is the process I am going through, what is the beginning, what is the end, and how it is flowing that. So this adds a direction and structure, and there is something, an organized way of approaching that entire task. So that gives you a kind of an focused happy, and being focused itself gives you a lot of happiness. For example, as soon as you get up today, you just write one pad and take a pad and write to-do list today. What is that I'm going to do today? What is the focus? My personal goal, my self goal, that is my personal, and then my family goal, and then for my house or a work goal. And what is that I need to do today? What is pending? What is that I need to do? What is emergency? What is a priority? All that if you take a note of it. The clarity itself gives you a lot of focus, which gives you happiness. Wow, I can do this. So this is something which is under my control because I have an control over the present. And the task in the hand must be very clear, and you may have an kind of an immediate feedback what you're doing. So this is something which you can negotiate with your own friends, or negotiate with your own self, or negotiate with your own colleagues, negotiate with your own boss, and come to know about how you're actually progressing in that. So this is being proposed. The flow is a state which the people are so involved in an activity that is nothing else seems to matter. The experience is so enjoyable that people will continue to do it even in a great cost and sheer sake of doing it. Some people enjoy cricket. They never knew how many hours they are spending on the ground. Some people enjoy painting. They never knew that how much time they are doing. Some people like cleaning. They do keep on doing cleaning the entire day. You can see these things if you are involved in something and you have lost of the time and you have been working on that entire that you are productively done something. You are able, if you are a person, you are able to focus on all the spheres what you have planned, along with the balance of what is that is a perceived challenge or something on flexible to adjust with the flow. It's very important. So they have seen that the challenges what could be that which can cause negative emotions, the other positive emotions which can really lead you. People who are extremely opposite is people who are involved in flow. If they are not involved, it shows that is a boredom. And people who are having boredom are not able to feel the positive emotions. They feel dull, drained energy, and they're not able to move ahead. No, this is something which we need to really know. And Schaffer says that there are 7 conditions, for flow. Knowing what to do. I must be aware of what I'm going to do, and then knowing how to do it. What is that I'm going to do? How I'm going to do that? So I'm having a clear picture of what, how, and then how will you are doing it, and you are doing it. I know what is that I am doing. I know how to do it. How well I am going to do that. That's a very important. So there is an percentage of quality attached to that. And then knowing where to go, that is the navigation. So what is the step 1, step 2, step 3? I said no, that things to do list kind of. And then highly perceived challenges. What could be the challenge in front of me to do this particular task? And then what is that highly perceived skills I possess? What skills I possess to face the challenges, to navigate myself into the entire process without any distractions. What is that I have? And then the freedom of distractions. So how can I clear this? Using my skills. For example, you can use life skills. You can use any kind of a critical thinking or creative thinking or a problem solving or decision making or any kind of a skills in which can help you to eradicate that particular struggle or challenge and then navigate you towards the process. This is a very important aspect when it comes to the conditions of flow. So having said that, yeah, the flow can be anything which you are engaged in a game or an environment where you really related to, or a learning any kind of a new skill learning or something which really matters, and the subject of your interest, the skill training of what for you like, enjoy, you like learning new skills. For example, like learning music, you like love singing. You never knew that how much hours you are spending. So this has to be focused with your goal orientation, that it leads to a purpose and it leads to a balance in your life. That is very important. The flow with the purpose and the balance is required. So moving on to the next and next one, Chandra. Chandra, move on to the next and the other one also. Go to the next one. Yeah, I moved. Yeah. So this is something which I would like to enlighten all of you with the logotherapy, which is an existential approach. And you all know uh, the philosophy of logotherapy, the existential approach by Viktor Frankl. He has mentioned about how important it is to accept the fact of what lives give to us. That is, the life is meaningful in all circumstances. The life is very, very purposeful and meaningful in all, even a worst circumstances. So he gives an kind of an understanding based on his Holocaust experience. We had and had no friends, kith and kin, family members have been in the gas chambers and been killed, and there have been uh, people like the mountains. The dead bodies were like a mountain. He was addressing and witnessing at all the circumstances, and even at that circumstances, he never knew there is an uncertainty to the core that he never knew that he is going to be one among them anytime. He was expecting that anytime, but at all said and done, he was able to come out of it. He was able to withstand, and he was able to live life, and he was able to write and contribute for the logotherapy also. So this is his own experience he is narrating. The same kind of an approach could be actually connected with the well-being theory of Martin Seligman also, that he says that the engagement, how it is important, being in the flow, experiencing with that at that particular moment. If you are living with a full consciousness, you are able to connect with yourself and self transcendence, that is to the higher level of higher level of your self consciousness. Your engagement in life becomes a very purposeful one. It becomes a meaning to your life. While living, it creates a kind of a purpose. And then the becoming aware of life's transitions. I know that I have to really cross through these things. I know these are the challenges. I'm really aware of what is that I have in my hand. That comes when you are being really aware of what you are. So this is something is when from the logotherapy's perspective. And the next one is of the present and being mindfulness. So accepting the present is very important, and it is also from a Buddha's perspective, that is mindfully living. I have a control over only this particular moment. I don't know about the future. I cannot change the past. So I have only control over. I can choose to be like this in this particular moment. So being in present and being also mindful, it is a very essential aspect of existential approach. And also it is reflected in Martin Seligman's well-being theory. Having said that, the what are the kind of an aspects you can really feel that you are really in a flow, that sports or music or education, if you're a lover of art, anything you do, if you are positively experiencing a good vibe in you after you are engaged in, when you have been involved in a spiritual discourse also, you feel that you are one among that, and you have emerged totally into that. If you eat also, if you do anything that particular moment with a lot of focus, and especially sportsmen, you can see that when they are doing and getting involved in the sports, and people who are playing, and even children, if they are playing, they don't want it to come out of that play area, and they feel like being in the play for a quite long time, entire day. They feel that they would like to actually enjoy only the play. They don't even feel like eating. That is kind of an engagement, that they feel that they're one among the all. So having said that, what is the importance of this? What is the outcome of this? What I will get if I am engaged such a positively? Completely you are involved. What is that you are doing? You are totally focused on. You are concentrated on. That means there is a lot of satisfaction for you, because you know that what is that you are doing 100%. You know what is under your control. You know what is your strength. You know what is your skills, so you can actually navigate very effectively. A sense of ecstasy will be there, that is of being outside every day, that reality. The ecstasy is something which you really enjoy, the joyous moment you create by doing something, that is possible. When you dance for 5 minutes with the full focus of the entire dance, immersing yourself, and also just keeping the movements in mind and keeping the rhythm in the body and dancing, you will feel the same kind of a rejoice, the ecstasy in you. Yesterday there was a Sivaratri dance by Sadhguru. I was witnessing the same kind of a joy he had, and then the greater inner clarity. When you are approaching something with a flow, you have a clarity because you know what you are doing, what I am ahead of, what is that I am headed to, what is that I am going to get out of it, how well I can do this, how better I can do this, because you are resourceful enough to handle your challenges because you are aware of, and then knowing the activity is doable. Sometimes we keep um, unrealistic goals for ourselves. We set something unrealistic for ourselves, but this flow can help you to clear off all those doubts, self doubts, and this helps us to focus on our skills, our adequacy. What is that we are blessed with abundantly will be focused much then, and for navigating that particular strength towards the task that is possible by flow. And a sense of serenity, this is something which you get it. So a person who is able to cut and do an vegetable carving, or if he is going to do and cooking or anything a person doing with a lot of care and concern and also detailing, he will entirely feel blissed in the end of the day, like he has done something like a prayer. The karma we do is something called a prayer. So Krishna says something of serenity. What the author says in the flow is also the same kind of an, if you do your duty with full consciousness itself, if you do your duty with full of flow itself, without any self doubts, if you're able to do that, you are able to really create a serenity feeling inside yourself, the serene feeling, no? I feel that the oneness in the consciousness, that is no worries about oneself, and feeling of growing beyond the boundaries of the ego. One can achieve what they are actually capable of. So this is something towards the self-actualization journey. And then timelessness. You will never feel that you are being engrossed in this. And I said that I would like to take only half an hour, but it's just like that it slipped away from my mind that it is going to be 7. So what is that is important here, the timelessness. When you are involved, you are in a task and you're so focused, you're thoroughly engaged, thoroughly enjoying that, you are present, the hour seems to be passed like a minute. They say in if you're in a love relationship or if you're in a romantic relationship, you really love somebody's presence in front of you, you don't feel how the time just went off. If you have been with your friend whom you really value most, you never think of how many hours you spent, no, that kind of a feeling. That is timelessness. And then the intrinsic motivation, it doesn't seems to have it from outside. You feel you are energized, generated, you feel pouring with positive energy. That is something, whatever you produce in the flow becomes you are owned as your own reward, because you know that you are controlling that, you have an energy to control over that, you know that it is flowing from yourself. This is something the flow can create. This is the most beautiful outcome when you are being engaged in positively. And then this has been uh, related to this strength of character strength and virtues also. If you really see the all the character strength, that is the courage, humanity, transcendence, temperance, and also justice, wisdom, and are being mentioned by Martin Seligman and Peterson in the strength and virtues in positive psychology. All these are having a connectivity with the flow and also engagement. If you are engaging yourself in a very purposeful activity, you are able to connect with all the strength and virtues very easily. This could be possible. And sorry, there are a number of researchers proven it could be fairly done with this kind of a connection of flow. And in that case, it is not just per se engagement. All the in the elements in the perma, P-E-R M-A, all that is connected. So in that perma, if you release that positive emotions, once you wanted to have a positive emotions, you should have some accomplishment. For accomplishment and happiness, you must have and focus, you know, that is positive engagement is required. So this leads to even positive engagement leads to a positive relationship. There is an interconnectedness and each one is complementary to each other. So this particular aspect really gives an character strength and virtues. These are something functional aspects to facilitate you the entire aspects of this. So how would you really find flow? So being with being with your kids, and just one among a kid you are enjoying with them, choosing a very optimistic activity you really enjoy doing that. It may be a walking, it may be a jogging, it may be a dancing, it may be and anything which you really enjoy. And you have been wonderful and a unique human being because you could do something on your own with a lot of focus, and happiness is derived only because of your own activity. So this is very important because you were intrinsically motivated to do that. And then with this, I would like to state you a small incident what I have witnessed. I was once in a park. I was watching a person who's drawing on the road the picture of God and Goddess. He used to beg by drawing on tar road. It's a plain road, black background, and he used to draw with chalk piece, the color chalk pieces and chalks. And big picture, it is a big picture, huge picture he draws. And once he was drawing, I used to watch him every time whenever I stand for the bus in that bus stand. He used to draw and beg for his livelihood. When he was drawing once and he was just whistling and happily tapping his legs. His legs are, one leg is actually, both legs are actually not functional, uh, uh, no beyond the knees. So he used to scroll and walk only, I mean go only. So this person is drawn and get his everyday food. But this person was whistling one day happily, seeing all around, and whistling and looking very happy that day. I just asked, what happened, Anna? You seems to be very happy today. He said that I used to really draw, and I used to get really bugged up with when I draw the face of it. Today I have drawn Sai Baba. The face of Sai Baba was actually the way I really wanted. It has come one stroke itself. I could draw this today. I didn't even erased anymore, and it was so beautiful, and I really liked that, and I really enjoy that I could draw this today. So he is begging by drawing, but he had the sense of flow. He had the sense of satisfaction. He had the kind of a sense of mastery why he was doing that also. This picture, what he has drawn, is going to only fetch him money, but that money, what he has going to get, is not given him happiness. The mere drawing itself is given him an happiness that day. I could feel it even now, how he was whistling and happily expressing that to me. So setting goals and doing that and immensely enjoying that particular activity, staying in an activity with full focus itself can actually give you a lot of happiness. So when I say that, the previous slide, if I ask any one of you, which one you would really enjoy doing it? Switching on the light, or it is just the other lighting lamps of diyas which has been kept in Deepavali or Kartiki Deepam, that you have to really engage in each one and do that. So if you really ask me that the diyas, small diyas, will give you a lot of happiness while you are doing that, because that involves a lot of process. You engage in the flow. So this, having said that, all these are related to our holistic wellness dimensions, that you are able to physically feel well, and also you are able to financially feel well. You are able to connect with the environment. You are able to care about yourself. All these aspect of our wellness is well connected when you are engaged with the flow. So can you move on to the next slide, please? So the wellness with the holistic wellness has these dimensions: emotional, financial, social, spiritual, occupational, physical, intellectual, and environmental. All these holistic wellness, I'm going to deal one day in detail about what is holistic wellness. And these could be your flow or a positive engagement. What we have been talking is a very essential investment for all of us. How much time you spend productively positively engaged in creating this physical activity, you have to spend time on dieting, sleep, all that you have to take care. So you have to be mindfully doing that. And intellectual, you need to read, learn, keep on updating yourself, engaging yourself in skill development. You require positive engagement. Environment, if you wanted to have a good health, occupying pleasant, stimulating environments, you have to arrange, rearrange, you have to rare such a kind of an environment for yourself. And then kind of an environment for you. Then it is very important emotion. You need to invest time with people and also in your emotions, being aware of it and able to invest on that time for yourself to understand your own self. And then financial, of course, you know how much time you have to involve to get money and you have to do that. And social also, and with respect to spiritual, I need not tell you how much ever you sit with in prayer or doing and slower chanting, or it is going to be a meditation or anything you call it spiritual, or walking on the beautiful wood place, a woody place or a forest also. If you do it with a full mindfulness, that is also a spiritual walk. So these are the aspects you require in positive engagement very well. So having said that, the clarity of goals and immediate feedback, complete concentration, actions and awareness are merged together. What you do, what you are aware, both are the same line, same plane when you are being engaged with focus. And then losing awareness of oneself and self-consciousness, the time sense, all that, these all the characteristics of a person who's positively engaged. And the last one, few points are sense of control. They don't have a sense of control over what they are doing, because they no worry about, they have a sense of control only with the what they are doing. They don't think about the future because they don't worry about the result. They enjoy the process of doing it. They don't think of what is going to come as an outcome. They just do it by doing the best of themselves at that particular moment. And then transformation of time, it just passes faster than expected. Activities are intrinsically rewarding because they know what they are doing is only because of their will, and it is able to give them, fetch them the result what they are doing, and they feel that I have done something very meaningful, purposeful, and I could see my strength in what I'm doing. So these are the effect of positive engagement. And what how you can do is the last few sides I have given, that if you serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin, endorphin has to secrete, you need to engage yourself what you really love to do, what you are actually feeling with the flow. Is it relationship or reading or in your work or anything you do? If you do it with full focus, with the full flow, you really thoroughly get all these happy hormone secretions, higher the dose what you require. So having said that, you can do an painting, you can do a drawing, you can do an column, you can do an praying, you can even taking a bath, even you can do gardening, cleaning your home. All this gives in positive engagement. So this is something, a power of all the hormones which has been met when you have been involved in the joy of expecting a new reward, because you know that what you are doing. Here the dopamine will secrete by doing itself, because you enjoy a moment of what you are doing. And then serotonin is, you are able to give it social importance, getting respect and pride. You feel your self-esteem you know is going to the next level because of what you really do. And then oxytocin, you were able to positively engage with your own people around. And endorphins are about when you emerge in exercise or laugh, or when you're involved in a humor or something, also you get this endorphin secretion. So this is something about the positive engagement. If you are able to invest time in that, you will be making a big difference to your life, because you know that what you are doing, what you are ahead of, and what is that you are going to really enjoy in life. Your strength, your values, your virtues, all are very, very clearly understood by you. So this is something which I really wanted all of you to really practice every day. Positively engage. Whatever little thing you do it at that particular moment. Do with an enjoyment, do with an flow, and feel that you are contributing for your self grow, and as well as for the people around. This will definitely work out and do miracles for your life in return. Thank you so much for the opportunity given. I'm open for questions.
Thank you so much for that wonderful session, ma'am, Shubha ma'am, and definitely a positive engagement. No one can give so much of valuable information other than you with your soothing voice. And the floor is open for question and answers. So, participants, if you have any questions, kindly unmute yourself or you could put in the chat box.
Subha ma'am, this is Chandra here. I have a question. Can I ask you, ma'am?
Yeah, please, my dear.
Ma'am, you were talking about spending time productively, right, ma'am? You keep insisting in all your talks about the productivity. How do one judge about its productivity, ma'am? For example, I love reading new things and learning new things, but for the other person with me, they can feel that I'm wasting time on reading. So to me, I feel it is productive because I'm gaining knowledge. But the person next to me thinks, oh, she can do something better than this. How do we judge on that?
It's a fantastic question, Chandra. And this is the $1,000,000 thing. People are not aware of it when they are involved in anything. So I must say that. So when a person is success or productivity is relative term, number one. Okay, it is all relative and subjective in nature. For me, reading. For me, learning something. For me, engaging myself in something which is very very joyful, light minded, that I really like it. I enjoy it at the point. I feel that the flow is in place, and then rest of the day I'm energized. I feel that I'm also moving very positively towards my goal or something. I have a definite idea about what is that I'm doing, I'm capable of. My strength I could feel from that. This is what is productivity. That may be anything. You may be doing a drawing, you may be reading a book, you may be washing a cloth, you may be doing anything. I'll say that how it looks for the other person doesn't actually looks inside from your side, isn't it? What is your indicator is very important rather than the other person's indicator. So you have to really follow what your pattern or your flow or what is your indicator states you this kind of a state to you. This you have to really concentrate rather than. So productive for me, it is about something which I enjoy doing it. Something out of that I should really able to see that strength has been utilized properly. For someone, it is about all earning money. For someone, it is all about making an people buy something for them. So these are aspects differs for each one. So what you really value matters. What is that is productivity connected to each values. This you have to really analyze.
Thank you
Do I
very much,
answer
Subha
your
ma'am.
question, Chandra?
Yeah, yeah, of course, ma'am. You can't let me go like that. I know. I'm sure you're going to answer for that.
Thank you so much for answering that question, ma'am. So true, you said being aware, and also thing is we humans are very much complex. When you look at the other living beings, they are very mindful, and also whenever they want to do, they do what they are doing. If you want a flower, doesn't have a competition with other flowers; it just blooms. That's what it does. So if we too follow the nature's law, everything would be on positive note. Thank you so much, ma'am, for that excellent presentation. And any other questions from the participants? I think this yes, ma'am. So the chat box is flooded with positive messages for your positive engagement program. I think that's it with the question and answers. So I take this opportunity to give vote of thanks for our own Shubha ma'am, because I know She is one wonderful woman and she deserves this and much more in her life. So, ma'am, on behalf of the American College Madurai Psychology Department and also MSSW and MS Chalamuthu Trust and Rehabilitation Center and also Psycho-Oncological Association Turkey and SCARF and other associations, I express our sincere gratitude for coming up with positive engagement and a wonderful session, and also for all the participants who have been traveling with us for so long and keeping supporting us so that we could reach a milestone in the history of mental health. So thank you one and all, and Shubha ma'am, thank you so much. And participants, kindly send in your queries and feedback to my webinar feedback at gmail.com. We will meet tomorrow with yet another wonderful session. Before that, a few words from Shubha ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Veena, for the compliments and as well as the appreciation and also the vote of thanks. And I really thank our team lead, Dr. Suresh Kumar, for making this possible. We are across 365 it was a real dream when we started, and now just we have done it. Only thing is we have positively engaged every day. I must say that the entire team was really happily associated in this and netted like an beautiful, uh, it's like a beautiful dress, and everybody has put an effort to make it more colorful. Everybody was doing their own design and embroidering, but it was kept in the common agenda that we all keep moving the entire project. And then we could do it more than 375. Now we are heading towards the 1 year, and we'll be completing on the April 13th because we started on April 14th. We feel absolutely happy, absolutely purposeful spending this 1 year, because whatever the thirst of all of us, I should say that Chandra or Veena or even Suresh, or there are many participants who have been traveling so far, have been fed it with so much of learning and learning, and whatever the concepts we have been thinking of to learn, we have been given a beautiful sessions on that, and we tried our best to do presentations also. There is number of occasions we feel that oh, whether we can do it or not. There is no self doubt at all if now that we all have been engaged, randomly if you pick up a topic. And also Suresh used to give us a lot of surprises, that he used to ask us, madam, tomorrow your presentation, today your presentation, now your presentation. All that we have come across now, we're able to do. So one is the barriers of, relatively I was not much into the trouble of confidence was not there in me when it comes to presentation, but now I could see that I have even improvised myself and I enhanced my skills, and I could really relate very well with the people, and I've also learned certain things which I have so far had an idea at all. I also I should say that my wrong perception about certain things, certain topics have come down and changed now. This is a beautiful learning platform. I really salute all the team members and also the experts who have shared their expertise over here. It is, I know these sessions cost very high when it comes to an one-on-one or an workshops, but they all come forward to do it very freely for all of us. Makes a lot of sense and a lot of meaning for all of us. So thank you so much, each one of you, everybody connected to us. It really means a lot for all of us. It is the success of everyone, just the core team. Oh, you all made it possible. So thank you so much wholeheartedly from your salute from all of us. Please accept our gratitude, all the participants and as well as experts. Thank you so much. We love you all.
Thank you, ma'am. We also love you a lot. Thank you so much. Yes, participants, we'll meet tomorrow. Thank you. Good night. Bye bye.